Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in today's video. I think this team is a genuine Super Bowl contender. If I had to name you a dark horse contender in the NFC, I would definitely say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should at least be on that list. It's fascinating because Josh Grizzard, the brand new offensive coordinator, he's inheriting a very good offense, and Baker Mayfield continuously outdoes himself. We saw Tampa last season be a top 5 rushing unit, something we have not seen in a very long period of time. They went offense in the first round. The defense is fascinating as well because they didn't make too many crazy moves outside of the draft. They picked up Benjamin Morrison, one of my favorite defensive backs out of Notre Dame, Jacob Parrish, Elijah Roberts. I get it. The only free agency move they made was Hassan Reddick, and Hassan was a heavily critiqued move in the offseason. We'll talk about the defense more so towards the end of this video because the bread and butter that you'll see hopefully from Tampa Bay this upcoming season is going to be offensively focused. Now, it's cool to see Buccaneers fans not stressing about a brand new offensive coordinator for Baker Mayfield. I do agree and understand that it is unideal that Baker continuously gets new offensive coordinators. People view that as a negative, but at the same time, it's a testament for what he's doing. Dave Canales gets promoted to a head coach. Liam Cohen gets promoted to a head coach. Josh Grizzard, in my opinion, was the perfect man for this job, and you got Baker, who is playing like a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. And like we say, this is a top 5, or at least last year was a top 5 rushing unit in the NFL. Bucky Irving had a great rookie season. Rashad White's entering a contract year. Sean Tucker, jack of all trades. I loved what we saw from him last season. I know some people are concerned about left tackle because Tristan Wirfs is going to be missing a little bit of the regular season. I do just want to say I think Charlie Heck, journeyman left tackle, it's going to be fine. It's truly going to be fine. There's no way, because by the way, the Bucs have a good offensive line. You've got a Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin when he comes back from healthy, injured reserve. You got Mika Ibuka. You got Trey Palmer, one of my favorite prospects. Dude had a sneaky good rookie season that really only Bucs fans understand and appreciate. Jalen McMillan. You got Sterling Shepard there. You got Cade Otton. It's a loaded offense. And so even if they miss a little bit of a step because of the new offensive coordinators, or it takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated, I have a hard time believing with Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback that they'll be worse than a top 10 offense this upcoming season. So that kind of brings us to the defense because, like I said, I get it. It's a new offensive coordinator. I get it. There's a little bit of concern. But if you're a Bucs fan, you've done this for a few years now. There was a lot of concern. Dave Canales never calling plays at the NFL level. Same thing with Liam Cohen. I get it. Baker continuously improves. And I don't think there's a Buccaneers fan on planet Earth that doesn't think Baker Mayfield is clearly the franchise starting guy for Tampa for hopefully many more years to come. So that's where we get to the defensive side of things because, like I said, I genuinely believe this squad is a Super Bowl contender. But before we get any further, hit that like button, hit that sub button. You guys know the deal. We talk plenty of Bucs on this channel. The biggest issue for Tampa Bay last season, statistics would tell you, was probably the pass defense. But if you're a Bucs fan and you watch these football games, you know the real issue was health. And I know that maybe it's technically a coin flip, but I'm a big, I like the Lions. They get a really bad rap from last season with all their defensive injuries. And I feel like it kind of gave way to Tampa being under-recognized in that aspect. Now, you have to stay healthy. Right, if you're not a healthy football team, you're not going to get too far in the playoffs if you're even lucky to get into the playoffs. But we look at guys like Antoine Winfield, even guys like Tyke Smith, Servassier Dennis. People don't know who these players are. Obviously, Antoine Winfield, people know who they are. But you ask a random NFL fan who's Servassier Dennis, they'd be like, I don't know, maybe he played in the 90s. The dude was on his way. To be quite honest with you, I love the defensive line. Logan Hall, Vita Vea, now you got Elijah Roberts, Kalijah Kancey, very intriguing prospect. Hassan Reddick comes on in from the New York Jets. He's healthy. There's no contract disputes. People were believing that maybe it was going to be a little bit of headache in front office or team chemistry wise. We have not seen that in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying Hassan Reddick's going to be a 20-sack a guy this upcoming season, but it is a great dude to have in the locker room, and it's a great, even better player to have on the football field. When we look at this defensive back room, that's where statistics would tell you there were issues for Tampa last season. You got Zion McCollum, Tyke Smith, Antoine Winfield, Jamel Dean, Christian Izien. The issue is all these guys missed so much time. Whether it was Antoine Winfield who missed a chunk, whether it was a player who missed a little bit of time, the issues were defensive back-wise. And so when Tampa comes out here in the first couple of rounds and they pick up Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, my favorite, biased. It is biased. I'm a Notre Dame football fan. They pick up Jacob Parrish. The defensive back room, in my opinion, is about to become a strength. So if I were to tell you, especially if you're a Bucs fan, it's a little bit biased, like I said. But if I say the offense, there's no way, even if you're like a little bit more of a pessimist and you're like, or maybe Tampa's not going to be a top 10 offense. Maybe they're going to hover around a top 10 offense next season. That doesn't mean they're not capable of being a top 10 offense. That doesn't mean Baker Mayfield's not capable of being a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. So if you have concerns, the issues lie defensively. Well, my kind of remark to that would be, if Tampa's defense was healthy last season, we might have seen a different postseason outcome. But you've still got Vita Vea. You've got guys like Levante David's back. Like I said, and I don't mean to like rattle feathers or blow smoke up anybody's ass here, but if you're a Bucs fan especially, like I live here in Tampa Bay, Yaya Diaby. You ask a casual NFL fan who Yaya Diaby is, I don't know. Who people don't know who Yaya Diaby is. They don't know he's on that ascent. You ask people who Servassier Dennis is. Like I said, oh yeah, maybe he played in the 80s. Maybe he played in the 90s. I don't really know too much about him, but I heard his career was good. People don't know who these dudes are. Kalijah Kancey is like even one of these young prospects where I know, injuries, whatever. Unless you're like a defensive line guy or you're a pit guy, people still don't really know who Kalijah Kancey is. They still don't really appreciate him. Antoine Winfield Jr., if he's healthy, dude's a superstar, right? We already know that. Tyke Smith. I'm really excited about Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish, and I genuinely believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl contenders, and I just want to get that rhetoric out there before the season officially starts. So, folks, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will see you soon. Give me a loose win-loss projection for this team down below, but we'll see you soon. Peace.